Yo, what is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Cut Commute. Just got out the gym. I'm super fucking sweaty. I can't stop sweating. So excuse me if you see me dripping here. But yeah, welcome back, y'all. So I don't even know what episode this is. I think it's only episode 4 or so. So if you're just now tuning in, you haven't missed much, especially because I don't know what the fuck I'm even doing with this. So yeah, we'll see. Pulling out the driveway right now. Wednesdays are my late start days. So I don't really start until like around 11 o'clock. It gives me time to go to the gym in the morning. I drop off my son at school, run errands, all that good stuff. But let me just clip you up right here real quick. That should be okay. All right. Wave to the neighbors. Again, I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna be doing with these. I'm using this as my diary. If you're new, I got a 25-minute commute to the shop, so I'm just gonna spew out info. I'm gonna spew out just kind of whatever's on my mind, and hopefully you gain something from it. And if you do, like, share, subscribe, share this shit to your friends, all that good stuff, okay? I'm just here to try to pump out as much education, as much knowledge as I possibly can. Shit that I've learned in my past 14 years of being in the hair industry, being a barber, being a barbershop owner, all that good stuff. I got asked a question on Instagram, and I thought this was, it's a pretty basic question. I get asked it a lot, so I figured I'd come on here. I made a video of it recently, but I figured I'd come on here and just like explain a little bit more, elaborate, give you all a little bit more than just like a 90-second video. So the question that I got asked was, how do I know when to raise my prices? And if I raise my prices, do I need to do anything different than I'm currently doing? So this topic right here, I feel like every single barber, every single stylist, we reach this question at some point in our career. I've raised my prices multiple times in the past 14 years. I've done it the wrong way and gotten a lot of shit for it, and I've done it the right way. So I'm going to tell you kind of, pros and cons, what to do, what not to do, what has worked for me. Hopefully it translates and it works for you. So the video that I made today, basically, I was just saying that if you raise your prices, you don't need to add anything onto your services. A common theme in the barber industry, not so much the salons or like the stylists, but in the barber industry, if you raise your prices, you now feel like you have to do something else on top of your normal service. The problem I have with that is if you raise your prices and then you say, hey, don't worry guys, with the price raise, you're still gonna get the same service and the same haircut, but I'm now going to give you a free neck massage or a free, whatever the fuck, black mask or whatever, a free beverage. Though that tactic right there, all that tells me is that you are not confident enough in your service alone to raise the price. So if you're not confident in your service or your product, the haircuts, to just raise your price without adding anything to it, then you should not raise your prices. There are a few things, like a few check marks that you have to, hit before you actually raise your prices successfully. One, you have to have the demand. Like that is the first and foremost. Like if you don't meet that criteria, don't even think about raising your prices yet. It just won't make sense for you. You have to have an overwhelming demand to be able to raise your price, because anytime you raise your price, you 100% are going to lose clients. The percentage is always going to be different depending on how much you raise your prices, but you will lose clients when you raise your price. That's inevitable. So if you already don't have a full book of clientele and then you raise your prices, you're gonna have even less, okay? So you have to build a demand to where you are booked. You are booked out. I like the 3 to 4 week booked out. If you're 3 to 4 weeks booked out, that's just inconvenient enough for a client to be like, hey bro, you gotta raise your prices so your books are a little bit more open so I can get my haircut, in a week or two advance. So you have to have the demand first, foremost. You have to just check all the professional boxes, dude. You gotta do the fucking customer service shit. You have to be a professional. Like, the shit has to be clean. Like, imagine if you went to like a fucking dump of a restaurant and they're just like, hey, we're not busy and we're kind of dirty and it's kind of messy in here. Oh yeah, and the food is just kind of like mid, but we're gonna raise our prices just because we're gonna raise our prices. It just doesn't make any sense. So you need to check all the professional boxes. Be on time, be reliable, don't cancel on clients, don't come to the shop smelling like weed or cigarettes. Definitely don't come to the shop and cut hair high. Like, don't fucking do that. You need to check all those boxes. So be in demand, be a professional. The quality of your work needs to be top notch. Now this is the hard one because everybody thinks that their shit don't stink, right? Everyone thinks that their cuts are elite and their cuts are worth the most. You have to look at your shit with a critical eye and you have to be honest with yourself. Are you pumping out work that is worth a price raise? And now, and the final one is the one that we just discussed. If you raise your prices, do you feel like you have to add something on to justify the price raise? Okay, if you feel like you have to add something on, you can't do it, bro. It's not gonna work out because the price raise has to be, hey, my haircut and my service is worth the price raise alone. That's why I'm raising my price. Okay, clients don't give a fuck about, oh, I get a free neck massage, I get a free hot towel, whatever. Clients don't care about that. They came there to get a haircut. So those are the biggest things. Once you check all of those boxes and you are consistently booked out and you are, you're busy. You're busy to the point where like your normal clients, like your day one clients, your good tipping clients, your faithfuls are hitting you up and they're being like, hey bro, I can't get an appointment with you. You're busy. That's a problem. It's a good problem, but it's still a problem that you have to solve. Check those boxes, recognize the demand, and now when you raise your price, it is going to benefit you in the long run to do some research. What I mean by this is you need to open your fucking laptop or your phone. You need to pull up barbershops in your area and you need to start writing down the prices of haircuts in your area. Now, if you're on the lower end, maybe you bump your prices up to the average price. If you're at the average price, maybe you bump them up to, above average. But you need to have some kind of data point. You need some kind of data point to kind of come up with the number that you're going to, raise your prices to. Because here's the other thing too. Back when I raised my prices, I raised them from $50 to $65. I tell people this and they're like, bro, $15 is a huge price raise. Like, how did you get away with that? The reason why I picked 15 was because I was booked out like 2 months in advance, 8 weeks, solid 8 weeks. If I jumped up $5, that would not have changed any of that. I was getting to the point where if I got sick or something happened, I couldn't make up those clients. Like I couldn't make those appointments up. Like it was impossible. So I needed a significant jump to be able to see people fall off. And to be honest with you, 2 things here. The people that are gonna fall off are people that you kind of want to fall off. It just works naturally that way. And then 2, when you raise your prices and you become more of a like premium priced barber, the amount of shit that you have to deal with goes so far down, it's not even funny. There is this weird psychological thing that comes along with being a premium barber or being a barber at a premium price. People now respect you. And it's crazy. I don't know why. It's just, I'm speaking from my experience. Went from 50 to 65 being above average for my area. And I don't deal with the no-call, no-shows anymore. I don't deal with the late clients anymore. I don't deal with the clients that are like, hey bro, I forgot my wallet. Can I get you next time? I don't deal with any of the bullshit. I don't deal, like people tip me more now that I'm a more expensive barber. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. But the more I talk about this, the more I say it out loud, people are like, oh yeah, I've had that same experience. It's a weird phenomena. I don't know. You kind of take yourself from one bracket and you put yourself into a higher bracket, and those people in that higher bracket, they seem to just operate like professionals. I don't fucking know. I don't know. So, sorry, went a little bit off track there. So, check those boxes, right? Be in demand, be a professional, quality service, be booked out. And once you get an average price for the shops in your area, then you can determine your price raise, right? And like I just said, it's a tricky number, because if you just raise your prices a little tiny bit, you're gonna raise them, right? So that's cool, you get a little bit of a raise, but you're gonna have to raise them again soon, because no one's gonna fall off. You're not gonna open your books up at all, and it's not gonna be a significant change. So you have to come up with a good number, with the sweet spot. Honestly, I think I've kind of heard like $10, like a $10 jump is just enough for your OGs and your good faithful clients to hang on, and the ones that were kind of out the door already, to kick them out. Okay, now again, what I'm talking about is specifically for barbers that are booked out and needing a price raise, needing some of their life back, because you're in the shop 5 to 7 days a week from open to close, and you're booked out 4 to 6 weeks in advance. You need your life back a little bit. You need a little bit of balance. You're feeling burned out, so you're like, I gotta fucking raise my prices. So find that right number, somewhere in like the $10 range. And when you go to raise your prices, I did this shit the wrong way one time, and it was catastrophic. I will never do this again. I blindsided my clients, and I know better. I don't know why the fuck I did this. I think maybe I was a little bit nervous, and I didn't want to have the pre-conversation of like, oh, hey, just to let you know, I will be raising my prices soon. I just raised my prices one day, and people were pissed. People were fucking pissed. So the biggest advice I can give you is you need to pick a date in advance, right? Try to make it a clean date. I mean, I don't know. I like the clean dates, right? Starting September 1st, starting October 1st, my prices will be X, Y, and Z. And send out an email, send out a text, put up a little sign, on your station or whatever it be, and just let people know in advance, because what you're doing is you're being courteous. Like you're taking your time and you're being like, hey, I want to let you know, so I'm not going to blindside you, that starting on this date, I'm going to be raising my prices to this number. You're letting people know ahead of time, that way they're prepared, but you're also giving those people that are going to fall off, you're giving them time to find somebody else. And it's 100% okay. It's how you deal with it that makes it weird, right? So the way I did it was like, hey, starting on this day, I will be raising my prices. If this price jump, and I'm literally telling this in the email or the text, if this price jump is too significant for you, please talk to me, and we can either figure something out, or I can find you an alternative barber, or I can try to find you an alternative barber or barbershop to go to. And now, when I'm telling them like, we'll figure things out, those clients, I basically sat with them and I'm like, hey, here's the deal. I get that a $15 price raise is steep for you. If you want to think about it like this, I would be more than happy to do this for you. But what I told them is like, hey, if you want to think about it like a $50 haircut and a $15 tip and call it good, that's perfect, bro. That's perfect. I'm not expecting a tip on a premium haircut. If I get it, I'm grateful, but I'm not expecting it. And usually when I sit down and have that conversation with clients, I don't know, I feel like they appreciate the fact that I'm like looking out for them. And it's less of like, oh, you're just greedy, you're being money hungry, you're raising your prices because you just you want to, scam people. But it's like, no, man, like I'm raising my prices, and it's how you handle it. So if you handle it with confidence and you are very secure about your situation, your service, your product, and yourself, just like, hey, I'm raising my prices because I believe that I am worth it. I believe that my service is worth it, my product is worth it. If it's too steep for you, I can try to help you find another barber. or we can just don't tip me on top of the 65. With this method, I have never really had major pushback. Obviously, you have people that roll their eyes and they're like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's a huge jump, man. Like, why would you? I've been with you since day one, bro. I've been with you since day one. And it's like, yeah, I get that, bro. But my life is growing. I have to look out for myself. The time that I take, the experience that I have. There's a reason why you're coming to me consistently, and there's a reason why you've been coming to me consistently over the years. You know, like, I'm clearly worth the money. You just don't want to pay the money. That's a whole other subject, though. These clients out here got champagne taste, but they can only afford fucking beer, or they only want to pay for the beer. So it's like, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so when you raise your prices, you need to just walk your clients step by step all over the process. Communication, just like any other relationship, communication is going to take you further than not communicating. Communicating is going to put you in the fucking hole. Not communicating is going to put you in the hole. You need to communicate, and you need to say that shit with your chest. Because if you don't, and you seem, you're like kind of self-conscious about your price raise, people are going to feel that shit. No, if you're going to raise your prices, raise that shit, right? Like, that is it. And now I know this is a little bit tricky too, because like, if you are a 1099 barber, if you're a booth rent barber and you're working in somebody else's shop, you don't really have control over the shop, right? Like, you have control over you and your station, but you don't have control over how the shop looks. You don't have control over the conversations that go in the shop. So it is a little bit hard to be like, hey bro, I'm going to a premium price, but I'm in like a hood shop, right? So it's like, basically what I'm saying is not black and white. There is a gray area. So it's a little tricky, but I mean, like I said, I've been getting a ton of questions, people asking me about this whole price raise thing, and I truly believe that most barbers are undercharging. They're undercutting their work, or they're looking at the shop down the street and like, hey, they're charging 50, let's charge 40. And it's like, man, we as an industry have to come together and know our worth, and know that, like, as much as people want to talk shit about us, as much as people want to talk shit about our prices and all that shit, let them talk. Because at the end of the day, we all saw what happened in COVID. We all saw, as soon as the doors opened back up, motherfuckers flooded in the shop. People were trying to get cuts in the garage, underground type shit. Like, people will always want to look good no matter what. Second longest profession ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is old as time, and it's still going. It's not going to stop. So again, I feel like I don't want to give you the wrong impression and be like, hype you up in this video and be like, you know what, bro? Yeah, raise your prices. Raise those prices. Raise your prices if it's right, if the time is right. The worst thing that you can do for you and your career is raise your prices at the wrong time and end up going the opposite direction. Because the last thing you want to do is raise your prices and then have to drop them back down. That's a terrible look as a business owner. That's a terrible look as a service provider. So don't do it until the time is right. So that was a mouthful. I'm fucking thirsty now. My mouth is dry from just sitting here talking the entire time. But yeah, that's really it, y'all, for this week. I feel like, man, everyone cuts hair so fucking good now. Like, scrolling on TikTok and Instagram, everybody cuts hair so good. As long as we're pairing these hair cutting skills with professionalism, we can all raise our prices, and we can make some fucking solid money. I mean, like, look at salons, dude. Like, salons, that's the price. That's the price, and these girls don't bat an eye, man. Like, $800, cut and color, boom, fucking, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. And if you really, really want to get pissed off as a barber, go Google salons in your area and look at the prices. that they're charging for men's haircuts. Oh, that shit will irk you. It makes my skin crawl, dude. It makes my fucking skin crawl because they charge a lot because they're like, oh, we are a nice fancy salon and we're all professional and we don't really want to cut men's hair. So we're going to charge $120 for a men's haircut. And these dudes really go and get haircuts by them because it's a nice professional place. That's it. That's literally it. So that's the end of my rant for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in again. I think this is episode 4. So yeah, if you have anybody that could benefit from this video, or if you have a story about your price raise, or maybe you're thinking about a price raise and you have some questions, leave it in the comments. Let's chat. Let's use this channel as like a spot for everyone to kind of come to and learn and grow off of. That's all this is about. Just trying to take any experience and knowledge that I've had from the past, 14 years and just letting y'all know what the fuck happened, what worked, what didn't work, learn from my mistakes. And because the more that you guys learn and the more you guys grow and better the industry, the better it's going to make me, the better it's going to make my shop. It's the better we're all going to get. Like, we're all just going to get better, and we're going to make a lot more fucking money too. Come on. We're skilled, we're artists, man, we're professionals. We should be making hella money. So, but that's it. That's my rant. If y'all are cutting hair today, cut some fucking hair and make some big fucking tips, y'all. Later.